Hi there, I'm Danny Henderson. Welcome back to my beautiful full disclosure channel. Now, I'm giving you first and foremost a warning, a very graphic warning. Do not let your children listen to this broadcast. And if they are around, please put your headphones in and keep them safe. We're going to be uncovering some details of this great man's life that are very, very fragile and triggering to some who are still going through their own journey of healing. But ladles and jelly beans, it's my honor to introduce you to Chris Laterreur. Hello, Chris. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. Hi, Danny. Thanks for having me on your show.
It's my honor, my pleasure. And I was introduced to you by my other new friend, Dr. Juliet Engel. Um, and I've had her on my channel a couple of times, and we're uncovering her incredible life as an MK Ultra, satanically, ritually harmed child who has survived against the odds. And she actually connected you to me in an email. And then our other friend, Chantel Mayberg from Aquarius Africa Rising channel, reached out to say that she'd heard that you and I were getting together because you've also gone on her channel several times, which is great. So we're all, like we said, we're all finding each other. And as most people know, the people that come on my channel, like my friends too, like Shanti, we're here to keep you safe. We're here to honor you, honor your story, and be a safe place for you to share it. And we don't suffer trolls. They get the biggest boot up the arse if they come anywhere near me or anyone on my channel. So you're in good hands. But I want to start with the writing behind you because you're there. This is the story behind the TV series Stranger Things. So a lot of people have seen Stranger Things, of course. They're waiting for the next season to come around. But I would like to pass everything to you, my love, and take your time. But could you, without anybody supposing they've ever met you before, could you start with who you are, where you were born, and your childhood, and go as in any areas that you feel safe doing?
Sure. Well, my name is Christian Laterreur. I'm from Quebec, like the Great Montreal area. Kid from a regular family uh, in a small local, uh, a small town, like near Montreal. And yeah, well, I got recruited in MK Ultra sub project in a job fair at the age of 6. We were brought in the job fair with the preschool, and there were a lot of booths, people talking about their trades, and they had stuff on their table, like about their trades. And the last booths were military and cops. They had guns, flyers for like a military recruitment, also like drug samples and all, and they offered us to participate in a secret project. So we were all like stimulated by the idea at 6 years old. So yeah, sure. So we filled out a few checklists, and like those checklists were like fields that we would like to be, and like we all wanted to be the badass with guns, like so like the kindergarten teacher was helping us fill out those checklists. We gave those back, and after they gave us papers for parents and to like if they were okay for the project to fill those papers out, and we would get an appointment from there.
Can I
So
ask you a question,
yeah,
Chris? Is it okay if I ask you a question, please? First of all, I want to say to anyone who says anything about your beautiful French Canadian accent, you just need to either leave or you need to put on the CC button for because Chris obviously has an accent. You can't believe it, Chris, how rude some people are. They're like, audio is terrible, can't understand. It's like, just bugger along there then. Don't be rude. So just a warning, because we're just starting out with you, so people can attune and they can put the English or whatever they need language on. But I'm really shocked because you said that you were 6 years old
yeah,
and you were taken to a job fair
yeah.
with adults who were promoting police and army, and they had drugs on the table, did you say?
Drug sample and like a plexiglass over it kind of thing, and like there were all kinds of drugs and like the name of the drugs and yeah.
And did your
So
parents know that this group of children were going on an outing to a job fair?
uh, not that I know of. Like it was really the school that was
It's
bringing us there.
unlikely, darling. Let's not lie. It's
Yeah,
unlikely. And this is a very important point, Chris, because a lot of children that get recruited into these programs are either taken, like you were, but the parents don't know,
yeah,
or they're the smart kids in the school, the really clever kids that go in the gifted programs, or they're
yeah, that's
the
it.
lower remedial ones that are considered of low intelligence that are put into other areas or autism or whatever. So it's just an important point to make here.
Yeah,
And you can imagine you're there with your little boy, your boy mates, and there's little girls, and I'm assuming it was boys and girls. And then there
yeah,
you are, and like, who wants to be a policeman or the fire chief? It's the most exciting thing in the
yeah,
world, isn't it, at 6,
yeah. So
right?
it was a trap, like for
Yeah,
kids, like to.
absolutely. Absolutely a trap. All right, so you said then you got given a form to take home. Did anything happen to you physically at that event? Did anything happen
No,
to other children? So you were all
no.
safely together with teachers and
Yeah, with my friends from the class, and so we got a bunch recruited at the same time. Because like I filled out those, I brought those papers to my mom. My mom filled those out, and she was working with the cops, so like in the same office. So she wasn't scared. She trusted them, I guess, at that point. So I brought back those papers. We had an appointment with the military, the CIA, um, cops, and like staff from the school because the CIA bought a school that was abandoned for $1, and they had to refurbish it, and that school was used for the Monarch project. So they also bought the little church in front that was their undercover office. So and yeah, that was the school for the CIA. Like people, most of the kids were part of the Monarch program.
can you tell us what the Monarch program is, please, and what year are we talking about?
This is 81 that I got recruited. So till the main project was the main formation was 6 years. So like till 87. And yeah, it was Monarch is a sub project of MK Ultra. So same thing, just different name and like new techniques a bit. And
So you children that got recruited into this Monarch program, which is a little side swipe to the MK Ultra severe multi-level, multi-generational mind control program that our friends Kathy O'Brien went through, uh, Dr. Julia Engel that I mentioned earlier went through, and many, many others. So you're in Monarch. So you've been recruited, your mum signed the papers, you want to be a policeman or whatever. Have you now been taken out of the school you were in and then put into this other new school? Is that what you're saying to us?
no, I was sick, like just like through the normal schooling. Like I went to normal schooling. This was a public school. Um, it was there were always cops or CIA in the school to check all the kids and all. Um, and there were people from the CIA that were coming to like for a week or two at the school, like training the classes, and after going to other schools. So like this wasn't the only school. Some of my friends that got recruited at the same time as me did their formation in other schools. So
Okay, so let's keep it simpler as well for people. Why are the CIA going through schools with little children in? What are they doing there?
in my case, I got recruited by John Gittinger. He was the chief recruiter for the CIA. He was like spotting kids like future spies and like the so like and he wasn't doing this just for the CIA. He was doing this for a bunch of like secret services. So like the guy was really like the pro in this, and so yeah, um, he was the doctor that was following me. John Gettinger was a doctor, like at first. So yeah,
And did you have
Um,
meetings on your own with this guy, John?
yeah, with my mom. Like it was pretty much always with my mom, or she was like the other side waiting while I was talking to him, or
Okay.
like
And what kind of tests and programs did you get put through, please?
there were like LSD experiments. There were we started LSD from 7 years old. The we had a class with we were 10 kids in it, and they brought some flyers for Walt Disney and kaleidoscope to find like different shapes, and like we had to find a
Like,
face in it.
yeah.
They also put like the Wizard of Oz for movie. Like it was a day LSD with a few parents in the class. Um, and it's General Michael Aquino that brought the LSD on a plate with it
Okay,
was
hold
all
on.
pre.
Sorry, you just mentioned Michael Aquino, the satanic filth monster with the
Yeah,
terrible, evil eyebrows,
yeah,
whose name comes up consistently. Dr. Julia Engel, Kathy O'Brien, Max Lowen. I just had Max and Kathy speak at my last conference, my last Galactic Spiritual Conference. Very important to slow down here and there so we can really
yeah,
emphasize points for people that this filth monster has also apparently been the one, and Dr. Lee Merritt told me this, that Aquino, however you say his name, I couldn't care less, but everybody knows he's a satanic monster. He wrote the Bible, the chaplain Bible that the military still use today. I mean, I don't know if he's dead, he's being kept alive or whatever, but again, we speak with absolute disrespect because we're trying to help people like you smash through any obedience programs, any respecting authority programs, any putting anyone above you, because the child in you is so traumatized, those that haven't done their healing, you tend to be emotionally paralyzed at this age and consistently look at these asshole monsters as people to be feared of or be respected, which of course they're none of that. They're lower than the scum below pond scum, and that's a fact. So you actually met the monster Aquino then, did you? How old were
yeah.
you?
I was 7 that time, and yeah, like he distributed like those banana premix dose of LSD, and he had like sour juice also. So like he gave this to everybody, and there were two left, and me and my buddy Steve were like, hey, can we have those? So because like he wasn't giving it to us, he gave the plate to our principal, and our principal was like distributing to us, and he was just watching everything she was doing. And like when we asked that, like she just turned her head and he hugged the head, like yeah, like so we took those two extra doses, me and Steve. uh yeah, that was a real LSD trip at 7 years old. Like uh, I was laughing in the class at some point. The principal came and get me out because like I saw Aquino, and like I had the buzz like about his eyebrows, and like he had the haircut of Dracula. So he was funny to look, like, and on LSD it punches, and me and my buddy Steve were just like joking about Dracula. So yeah, I got kicked out of the class, kind of like to go see the nurse that was making all our sound tests, like ultra low frequency sound every week. So and by while I'm getting out of the class with my principal, who comes down the stairs? Aquino. So I just burst laughing even more, and like I fold in two. But my principal slapped me behind the head and told me stand up straight. So like because the guy was important. So like I was looking at him, I was biting my tongue not to laugh, but like at some point he just like shook his eyebrows like I started laughing. So everybody was laughing because
Oh my
laugh
God.
is contagious. But yeah, that was my first meeting with Aquino.
Wow. And that
So
was that your first time on LSD? And did your mum know you
yeah,
were going to be given LSD? Seriously?
yeah. From that point, actually, my mom got given a bottle of LSD, like it was a glass bottle with a like a pink tip, and she was giving me also a calendar with the dates of like those trainings that I had to, and like she was giving me my lunch the morning and my drop on the tongue, and I was going to school and I was doing those psychic trainings day on LSD. So like I passed over like at least one bottle. So
Jesus. And where's your dad in all of this? Was your dad around?
yeah, my dad actually was in James Bay. He was working a few months at a time, and when he got back and learned about this, he lost it. He grabbed all my stuff, like, cause like he said to my mom, like, my son won't be a MK Ultra experiment. He grabbed all my stuff, my clothes, and all put this in the car. We left, but like at the end, a city limit, okay, like my cup handler was waiting for me, and he made us turn around, bring me back to my mom, and I was over a year without seeing my dad after.
Okay, hold on. Your carpenter made you turn around. What did you say?
My handler,
Your
my
hand.
cup.
Thank you. Sorry, I'm getting used to your accent, so please forgive me. But if
Yeah,
I'm missing words, then probably other people might be. So I just want to keep going back,
yeah.
making sure we get every bit of your important testimony. All right, so your father came back from wherever and he recognized that you were on an MK Ultra program. Is that because your dad had also been through an MK program? And what was your dad's job?
Not sure if he was in the MK Ultra program, but he knew about MK Ultra, and he didn't want me to have nothing to do with it, and yeah, as much as he didn't want, like the police was waiting for me at the end of town, and they made him turn around, and yeah, for from there I was over a year without seeing him. Uh,
Jesus, they
yeah, that
kept your dad away from you then because they knew that he would interrupt the program and save his
yeah.
little boy. How did you feel about that?
Oh, they were threatening me with him, uh,
What do you
yeah,
mean?
they were using him kind of uh, comply because you won't see him,
Emotional blackmail.
so
And what
yeah,
did they do to him? He must have been threatened on the other end as well,
yeah,
Chris.
yeah,
Do you
for
ever
sure,
talk
like we're
about it?
dealing with the CIA here, we
Yeah,
all have to
they
like be
behave
on the
like
same,
yeah, they behave like the Gestapo and the Nazis. They're intolerant, they're inhumane, they don't give a shit. You're an
yeah,
asset, you're worth money, and
yeah.
that's just crazy. So were your mum and dad not married? They weren't living together, they were living separately?
No, they were married, but like my dad was in charge of in James Bay, they were building towns there and all, and he was in charge of like a bunch of employees there.
Okay, is
So
that a company? Sorry, darling, because I don't know the company. Is it James Baylor, did you say? Was that a company your dad worked for?
James Bay is like up north, the
Oh, it's a
Inuits and all,
town,
there were no,
James Bay. Okay,
yeah,
James
so
Bay,
yeah,
Montreal. Okay, got it. Thank you.
no, it's like up north, like Kujawak and those places, and
Okay.
yeah, like the Great North. So
Of Canada. Yeah.
yeah,
Because you wouldn't be you'd be surprised. I mean, I've lived in Canada myself, so I've got more of an idea than people that have never lived there.
yeah.
Because again, the education and the geography of our planet is also lied on and kept away from us. I lived in Calgary, Alberta, and I honeymooned one time in Vancouver, which was beautiful. But I lived in Calgary, Alberta for 2 years.
I'm near Calgary now, so yeah,
Oh yeah, oh amazing,
that's
amazing. I
where.
remember the first time I flew to Canada, we had to land in a place called Boffin Island or Baffin Island
Yeah,
to refuel because obviously they lie about the fuel on on the planes, all the things that are coming out now. We've just
yeah.
accepted, oh, they take 50,000 gallons of kerosene. Do they though? Have you seen how big those tanks are? Bigger than the actual plane, love. Sort your shit out. Yeah, everyone now are like questioning every single thing. All right, darling. So go back to, so your dad was working up James Bay up north, so you weren't seeing him all the time anyway. So, but they
Yeah.
kept you away for a year. That's so cruel. Did your dad ever talk to you over the time when he could get back with you and share information? Did he write letters or phone you on the phone?
But yeah, we were talking a bit on the phone, but like, yeah, they didn't want me to be in contact, and like they were just like, really like handling me with him, like like using him as a threat, like they were threatening, like at some point they had a SRA party, and like they told me like, if you talk about this, like we're gonna go and kill your parents. And so like I was scared from that point. I was like waiting till my mom was going to bed, and I was like just getting up and like going, and I don't know why I was just waiting in the back door. I was grabbing a butter knife, and I was like standing there till the sun was coming out, and like when the sun was coming out, I was going to bed
Oh,
like a few hours just to like. But I did this for like I don't know how long, like. Yeah, like just they traumatized me one time, like big time, and yeah, like that. So like I wasn't sleeping. From that point, like I was sleeping like a few hours a night. Like the rest of the night, I was on the back of the door, like just waiting. Like
oh, darling, I'm
so.
sorry. That's just so brutal to hear. Now, you just mentioned that you were at an SRA party.
Yeah,
Okay, can
yeah.
you tell us what you mean by that? How old you were, and how did that even happen?
That was at the beginning, like of the project, and like there were. It was a special event. There were Anton Levy that was there.
Who?
Uh, Anton Levy, and
Anton LaVey. Thank you. That's what I
yeah,
thought I had. Anton LaVey was there, a very famous, sick, monstrous, satanic.
yeah, and also like Aquino, like there were a bunch of Satanists. It was the first place of the OTS, like the Order of the Solar Temple, the first building they had like in Quebec, and there were obelisk tower there. They were doing like resurrection from the underworld. Like I had to stand in the obelisk there, and like they were like doing like those rituals and stuff. So
Okay,
yeah, and
sorry. Is it all right that I keep on interrupting you? Just let me
yeah,
know.
no worries.
I don't want to be annoying, but I really do want to help us get this because your accent is beautifully strong. So you're saying that these Anton LaVey parties, Order of the Solar Temple, is that
Yeah,
correct?
yeah.
That there were obelisks, the Egyptian obelisks that we've come to understand as Egyptian. They're actually older than Egyptian times, but regardless. And they were doing resurrection rituals with you. So how old are you, and what does the ritual entail?
I was 6 years, 7 years old. It was really at the beginning of the project. Um, yeah, like I was probably 7 years old. Um, there were one like obelisk tower, like it was probably 50 feet in the air, like a big tower, all in like green metal and like with steps in it, and I had to like wait in there. They were doing like a ceremony, like a ritual from the underworld or whatever. So yeah, like it was a weird place, like like there were a big rock in the middle of a stadium, like yeah, like a two level, like really like a special place, and yeah, like they did like that night. They threatened me to kill my parents like if I was talking and all like that night they really traumatized me good, like so like that I think I spent like a year or two like at the door like like every night like with the butter knife like
Bless you.
just waiting because like they really got me that time like like
Literally scared you to death.
oh
Did
yeah.
did they were you undressed? Were you in a robe? Were they chanting? Or
They were in robes.
what
I
color
don't
were
know
the
how I
robes?
was. I don't remember how.
Were you drugged?
Uh, I couldn't say. I
Okay.
couldn't say.
Well, you,
Probably like most of the time I was drunk in those parties, like those SRA events, like so. And yeah, like they made me like sacrifice a kid and like um, yeah, what I'm saying? Like, hurry up, because like the more you wait, the more he's gonna feel it. Like now he's drugged, but like so like just like messing and like it's a cop that gave me that dagger. So like you kind of lose trust in the system after like yeah.
I'm so sorry. It's just so unbelievable. So a cop
Mm,
gave you a dagger to
yeah,
sacrifice a little child, and they're telling
yeah,
you do it, otherwise it's worse for the child.
yeah,
How
because
old,
he's gonna suffer after. If you wait too long, he's gonna suffer because he's drugged. So
and how old was the child that you were forced to sacrifice?
teenage,
6 years
like
old. Was it a
yeah, and like a little Mexican, like
Mexican? Yeah, they love to waste the brown and black babies, don't they? Because
yeah.
they have stronger DNA and blood. God love them. I'm so sorry. It's just so awful. Do you know where this little Mexican boy came from? Apart from Mexico, but do you know if he was trafficked over the border? Because that's what they do. The governments traffic the children
Yeah.
in caravans, as we know.
Um, it wasn't from my school, like for sure. Like I don't know where it was from. Like
Yeah. Bless your heart. And again, being
mm,
6 years old and being literally scared to death, of course, they make you feel guilty, like you did that, you did that. And they
yeah,
put on you never speaking out, but you are speaking out, and God love you for doing that. It takes such courage to do that. And I know you're telling the truth. Truth has a resonance, it really does.
yeah.
And you really truly are. So Anton LaVey and Aquino, some army military bloke that with the funny handlebar. Who cares what his title is? No one gives a shit. I think he's still alive. Is he alive? Um,
No, actually, Aquino got shot supposedly a few years ago, and there's a bunch of people that are waking up since. So, like, probably from like the the take he had over people like with the hypnose. So like since he died, like there's a bunch of people that are like I have talked to a few that like start to remember since. So like I think there's a link between this.
Yeah,
So
because energetically and the black magic and the occult spelling, it loses all of its power. And I've been telling people for ages now that when the Mitra, the Naboo Greys, who made deals with the American government, let's say, and weren't supposed to take millions of children and adults, but they did. And then the reptilians, specifically Sakaar and Draco reptilians, they were working with the Aquinos, the Clintons, the Bushes, the Obamas, the long-term bloodline families, Rockefellers, and all of those. And once the top layer left, the spelling can't hold anymore. The technology cannot hold. And as these old monsters die off, of course, the children, the spelling, it doesn't hold. So we're all waking up. We can't deny the energy on the earth as she's shifting and ascending. So it's all working in tandem that, people are remembering more and more. When did you start to get your memories back, Chris?
uh, well, me it happened in two steps. Like the first time was in 2010. Uh, in 2010, I was the owner of the Cimetière du Jeep. This is a Jeep shop. Like I started selling franchise. The first one was open. I had six open in that year. Uh, I had 3.5 million in inventory. Like the business was worth 15 million. But I was mid 30 and like I was starting to have flashback and like I started asking questions to my mom about one of the tests that was done at the Allen Memorial Hospital in Montreal. So she answered me with bullshit answer, but she did tell it to my cop handlers because that was part of the deal. Like if we were talking about stuff or like she had to like tell them, and so yeah, they didn't take any chance. They set me up. They set all my buddies up that were in the group with me. We all got like they tried to kill us. They set up with a huge charge. Like we all got arrested. Like took everything we had. Like because we were all doing good in life. Like from one day to the other, I had nothing anymore. Like, I was like doing home financing vehicles to everybody. Like, I was doing good in life. And yeah, they took everything, like, and they damaged me a lot. I got killed, I got reanimated, and like I don't know how long I was dead. That's why, like sometimes I come to say stuff and I jam.
Yeah.
That's since that happened.
I
So
understand that. Bless your heart. I know we're jumping ahead, and if I know that's okay. Sometimes it helps because it's a bit intense that part there, the 6 and 7 year old. So when they took your life away from you, but clearly you were revived,
yeah.
what was that situation? Are you comfortable talking about that?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like they killed the nurse that saved me. Like so a few weeks after I was in jail, and I saw that, and like I was in maximum security in jail, and like I told the guys that I was in jail with, like, I gotta escape. So like they told me ask your lawyer for like a psychiatric evaluation, and like there it's easy. So I organized everything. I got transferred to the psychiatric evaluation, and I had somebody waiting for me there. I escaped for a year, so I was everywhere on the news for a year. Like, don't approach the guy; he's dangerous. Like, like
Goodness,
so.
how old were you? How
Sorry,
old were you? 30 what? How old were you?
35.
Okay, so just take a step back then. So how did they kill you? And then this nurse brought you back to life and they took
Yeah,
her life. How did they kill you?
they grab a pillow head of for like a pillow, like just the cover pillow, and like he rolled it, and uh, a cop had like a syringe also, like a black syringe, a syringe with a black handle on it, and yeah, like one grabbed me and like he shoot me 3 times in the leg, and like that stuff, like just the heart was just like
To stop your heart.
yeah.
Were you on the street? Did they kidnap you?
No, 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 no. I just because like something happened. If we there's people that I'll reason quick. Like there's people that came at a place where I was, okay, and the cops came, and like I was like I had the choice of like going with the cops or but it wasn't the cops from the right town that came. It's the
Yeah,
from the other town.
yeah.
So like from where I am. So yeah, like that was like weird, like the wrong cops in the wrong town. So I had the choice of going with them or going with the ambulance. So okay, I'll go with the ambulance. So but as soon as I got at the hospital, they brought me in the closed section of the ER, and like there were nobody there, like it was all in renovation, and like that's where it happened. Like my cup handler showed up at the hospital, and like a, a guy that I knew from MK rolled. He was dressed as a nurse. He rolled a pillow head, and like yeah, they grabbed me, and so
But I mean, it's
the
unbelievable.
real nurse was hearing this and like, what the fuck is going on? Because that section is closed. There's nobody there. So like she at some point, like she hears the fight and so like she comes in and opens the door, and I was at that point like it was like probably 10 seconds I was faking like that I was dead so that they stopped because they were just choking me, choking me, choking me. So yeah, and like she just came in and like, hey, what are you all doing here? And they all like panic and they all like got out and I adjusted. I said called the RCMP and like I after I wiped out poof and like I woke up. I was I had been like like I died. They reanimated me. Like that lady was asking, "What did you take?" Like I didn't take nothing. Like what they injected me stuff, and yeah, it was all in the files. Like I didn't know what that was. Like so
You said the
yeah
RCMP, which is the Royal Canadian Mounted Police for people that don't know, and you
yeah
say a word, you're saying cop handler. It sounds a bit like you're saying carpenter, but that's your lovely French
yeah
Canadian accent. You're saying cop handler. This
yeah.
cop handler, was he the same one you had at school from the beginning of the program?
Like he's the one that like took care of me from when I was 6, the one that got me out of Montauk when this happened. And like yeah, and I know he was sad of like doing this, but like he wasn't that wasn't his call. Like he was fucking sad. Like, we were fucking So
Goodness me, bless your heart. Wow. Did you well, let's go back down the timeline again. You mentioned the satanic ritual with the obelisks and Anton LaVey and Aquino. They scared you to death in particular that night. So let's go from seven years on. What can you remember about being seven? What was school like? Like basically every day and friends around you and influences.
um school was okay. It was the nice part of my childhood. Like at school nothing bad happened. Like really it's when like I was going back home and they were coming to get me at night or like for a week or two or that's where like the troubles were like like at home like I was in a loving family like my mom like wasn't a bad person like to like she didn't do this like because she was a bad person like she trusted them, she was working with them like and like for the LSD, like when you have like people that because they gave us like almost 100, like they gave me 39,500 as a pension for later, but like they also give her like 39,500, I think, to for for her like to give me to the CIA and all like like and they were paying for all my sports while I was a kid like like to go anything I wanted to do, like they were paying for it,
This is the
um,
CIA, Chris. You're telling me because you were on this Montauk program. So it was
yeah.
public knowledge. It was recorded in documents. So it wasn't hidden. Is that what you're saying?
Well, it's hidden, like it's a secret project, but like yeah, there's files. I got a manual, and they invested how much on me? I got a pension for this, like I got a CIA asset number, like um, yeah, like I have like insurance, like like for the asset insurance, like like for
Okay, so
yeah
this is
assets.
transferred into real life, real world situations, this program from before. Again, another reason to obviously validate and verify and prove your testimony.
Yeah.
Goodness. So in your mind and your understanding as a little boy, what was the whole point of anybody going into Montauk and being drugged and what other kind of programs did you experience?
Montauk was a different, it was really, in my case, it was like to go there to do like astral projection on that chair. Um, like there were a portal there, and they were sending us to do like a bunch of mission through that portal, and
Okay, you got to stop. Okay, you just jumped a whole chapter. Okay, so let's go
yeah.
back. What I mean, I know, but maybe people don't know, so we can't assume. So let's take our time. What or where is Montauk? What are portals? And what do you mean by astral travel, please?
Montauk is in New York, Long Island, New York. Um, it's military base that's hidden under a village. Like it was like disguised as a village, like in World War II. And there's like tunnels under it. There's cage in those tunnels. And they were keeping us in those cage. Like they were bringing us there and they were giving us LSD and they were like putting us in those cage. And yeah, those cage, we like were getting beat up, like some were getting like abused, some died there, so, like a torture place, like the worst place. I didn't even see anything close to that in horror movies. So to give
Oh,
you an idea.
oh my God. Today on YouTube, my friend Brad Olson, do you know him, Brad Olson? He's
No,
and he's a very, very tall guy. He does a lot of research. He is standing outside on video at Montauk, outside Montauk. So all you can see is this really ugly 1960s kind of breeze, like brick building square. It's got this crazy satellite receiver on it. Kind of a boat shape, the bottom of a boat shape, some kind of receiver. And then he's there with Laura Eisenhower. She spoke at my first or second conference. So did Brad, and a couple of other people there that I don't know of or that I haven't met. But that was fascinating. I remember thinking, gosh, I'm watching this and I'm meeting you on the same day, knowing that you've been part of this absolute horror. So you say that there were lots of cages underneath. So this was a disguised kind of World War II village, yet there were tunnels and cages underneath. How old were you? Who took you there? And can you be more specific on the things that you witnessed and the things that you saw? Is that okay?
yeah, sure. Um, I went there a few times to Montauk, like because there Montauk was like the village, but there were a house. It was called the Acid House, and there were like tie dyes on the walls and like a place like to like have LSD trips and like so. And we were passing by there like the usual times that I went with Jack. Like he was coming at my place. Jack was an Endler. He was coming at my place, pick me up, and like bringing me to the acid house. The acid house. I was going directly to the chair. But like the time that I went through the tunnels and all, like the rest of the kids, this was like like we arrived there in the middle of the night because we were driving 6 hours to go there. Um, in the middle of the night, we were walking, and there were in the woods where we parked. There were a little hatch. We were going down like probably 30 feet, and from there, like we were getting undressed, we were giving our clothes. We were all in like underwear, and they were bringing us to our cage. They were giving us more drugs. Uh, yeah, like we were installed in cage. There were no beds. All the floors were soaked wet and like full of blood. And they were, like concrete was porous, like really not comfy. And yeah, like it's cold too, like tunnels. So yeah, we were kept and we were staggered in the cage. Like one cage had the kid, the other one had no kids in it. The other one had a kid. So and even the one that were in front of us, same thing. So that we weren't like directly in line. So like just to avoid talking and like yeah, like there were people that like from the military that were drugged, and they were laughing. You were hearing them coming from far, like, and when you were hearing them, you knew like yeah, they were coming to pick up one of us, and like, and they could like beat us. They could bring us to the open room where there were like a big pan, and they were doing waterboarding there. Uh, or like sometimes they were raping kids right in the cell like so
Gosh.
yeah
And these are children
yeah
of all ages. would you
So
say?
no, like I was 8 at that time, but it was pretty much like between 8 and 13 maximum, like 12, 13.
And do you know what was the point of them killing and drugging and raping children? What was the actual point of it all?
I honestly I didn't pick up on that because like the why the kids were dying, most of them was probably through the astral projection. Because like before I went there, like I was doing astral projection, okay, and the big threat was to like not go too far because we could get lost and not come back in our body, and we were dead after. So that was the main fear that they were like scaring us with, and yeah, like I did like I did astral projection local, like when I was a kid, like in my area, but not far. I didn't know what far was at that age, but I was scared by that. Um, yeah, I saw a kid that was dead. They uh, hanged him by a foot in the on the corner of two rows of cage, and like he was hanged by the foot, and he was draining of his blood in the middle pan, and like I was 8 years old, and I was scared, honestly, of looking at that kid. Like, um,
Jesus, it's
yeah,
thinkable. You mentioned the chair, the Montauk chair, as it's known. Can you please take your time? What is the chair? What did it look like? How did it work? And how does it connect to portals and astral travel?
yeah. The Montauk chair, it's supposedly from the Roswell accident. Okay, like the technology from the Roswell accident.
Roswell.
Um, yeah, the 1947 47 alien crash, or so they brought this there, and like yeah, it's a stainless steel chair, and um, we were sitting on it. They were hooking us like a hat with a bunch of like sensors on it. Also, like a bunch of sensors on us, catheter, because I was going there for hours at a time. So, like, uh, if I needed to pee or whatever, like, I had a catheter installed. Um, they were putting a mask on my face and like making me breathe. A new flower, like it was vapors of a new flower that just discovered in the 1980s, and I'm talking 1983. This flower was called Ghost Orchid. It's epiphat. It was found uh, where there's crocodiles and all in like Florida, like
Near
yeah.
a lagoon or a river? So
Um,
gold orchid epiphat is what you said,
a
right?
ghost orchid.
Ghost orchid epiphat. And they were
Yeah,
making you breathe in the scent through a breathing apparatus over your face?
yeah, a mask, and it was coming through vapors. So that was like the main things like that they were hooking up on me. Also, there were like a computer screen, probably 6 by 6 on the right side of the chair at the height of the feet kind of thing. And there were also a little table that they were bringing next to it. And this table had a box on it and a light that was coming out of the box. Okay. And like there were a projector that they were lining up with that light. And what we thought about was appearing as an hologram over that shelf. Like so like me in my case, I thought of a gun. I thought of a alarm clock. Okay. And both time like it appeared, uh you could pass your hand probably through it. Okay, because it's just an hologram, like the light from the projector and like the light from that little box together, the thing was appearing there. So like what we thought was really appearing. That was kind of cool. Uh
How did you
like
feel? How did you feel seeing that you're actually creating hologram from your actual thoughts, from the creation in your mind? Was there anything, and was that also when you were chained up or locked into the
Yeah.
sensors on the body? Where did they go into your body? Like, how else do you feel this whole kind of technical situation worked?
Well, yeah, like I was just sitting on the chair and like yeah, they were like, because depending of what they wanted, because I think our use on that chair was to go and explore, and like they were mapping everything. So we explored far, and like they sent a bunch of us, like, and yeah. So anyway, that part of the what we were thinking about that was appearing was one of the accessory that they were putting on the right side behind the little monitor, behind the little screen monitor at her feet. So that was usually that side, like on the right side, and like one time they put it on the left side in front. But yeah, that was the main thing, and also the purple portal. Um, they had a portal. Okay, it's like the movie Stargate a bit, but like it's like a mirror, like almost like a flat screen today, but like we were far from flat screen in those days. So they were installing this in front of us on kind of adjustable, like for medical lamps, like a stand, and like really straight in front of us, and it was a watery look purple, and like soon as you were looking at it, it was kind of pulling you to it, like the effect of like super easy to leave for astral projection. So, but like I think that's where all the kids, mainly the kids, died. Like, for sure, there's kids that died of fear or like probably mistreatment, like or like beat up so bad because yeah, like in the cage area, like I said, those militaries were walking, and like if there were a kid that was sleeping, or like they didn't know if he was dead, they were just opening the cage and kicking him just to see if we were still alive or dead.
Mm,
And
Jesus. Um, let's go a bit back to the the chair itself. How
yeah,
big was it? What color? What did it look like? What did it feel like?
stainless steel, like a stainless steel chair, like a bit like a beach chair, with the long legs,
Yeah, a beach lounger.
yeah, yeah. And there were a second chair that was like a regular chair. But I was always going on the bigger one. So
Hmm. Was the other chair also stainless steel?
no, she was a regular chair, but like with the same little computer and like I don't. I saw a bit the setup passing like in front of it, like going to the other one, but like I didn't sit on it. This one,
Okay,
so
so you're not clear because there's a lot of testimonies out there, and one of them I've heard different things about the description of the chair, and of course that's where you catch people out trying to make a story that's not
yeah,
theirs. Not to say that something awful hasn't happened to them. We got to be obviously very kind and thoughtful because some
yeah,
people have what we call screen memories. Like in the past, I've thought some of the ETs I've seen throughout my life. I've questioned, especially today in 2025, because every single person is some of the greatest monsters at the top, like Hillary Clinton, let's say, one of the
yeah,
greatest monsters. She also came out of MK Ultra. Not that I have sympathy for her, because she's well aware of what she did to my friend Kathy O'Brien. I believe my friends. I believe the
yeah,
people I interview as opposed to the monsters. But I've been questioning myself and experiences I've gone through. Was that ET real, or was it projected into my mind that I so believed it was real? It was physical. Was that real out reality, or was it like a program, like for example, you were in, another kind of situation where whether it was on planet or off planet, I'm being manipulated. Again, to put into people's minds, this is happening. It's happened. and we're hopefully coming to the end of crashing down all this false matrix that we're in. So when people talk about the Montauk chair, different accounts doesn't mean that they haven't been given that memory to hide something even more frightening for them, and their mind is trying to cope and give them a story to stay in this construct because God knows people are taking themselves off the planet right now. I heard yesterday somebody took themselves that I knew off the planet in a
Mhm.
different country via a shooting. Terrible, absolutely terrible. No signs, nothing, just horrific. So everyone's going through something. So we really do have to be
Yeah,
kind. Not everyone's lying or bullshitting. Okay, so the lounge, the stainless steel beach style lounger chair, you were
yeah,
told came out of the Roswell crash,
yeah,
the craft that went down, which we're told was a grey craft, and that they found a couple of little live ETs. And we won't go into that story too much. I can share that another time because I was involved with the book at one point. Anyway, had a story around that. But okay, so when you were lying, because you were obviously lying, that's a beach chair. You're only a little tiny boy with
yeah,
these sensors on you. So you're in front of the liquid purple portal. Now,
yeah.
did they tell you what state of mind to adopt before you channeled yourself through that fluid? How did that work?
Uh, well, like I was just picked up from my cage. Like Jack came and got me in my cage and told me like we're going to do the chair, and after like we're done, like nobody will hurt you. We're going back home, and like so. I had probably 500 feet to come down because I didn't know at that point if my buddy Steve was dead or because I was trying to talk to him and like he wasn't moving or yeah, and like I just saw the kid in front of my cage too, so like I didn't know if I like my buddy Steve was dead. I didn't know if I was gonna get killed. Like you know
Yeah.
that's Montauk. So. Yeah, like Jack told me, they brought me to the chair. Preston hooked me up. Preston Nichols hooked me up to the chair, put the all the monitors, sensors, and all the stuff. Jack was talking about the plant that I was breathing in the mask, like explaining that it was like uh, the ghost orchid, like if I just found in the Everglades, Everglades. So
Everglades. Yeah.
yeah, and yeah, he showed me also a lotus flower, saying that it was used since ancient Egypt, like in rituals, and like just trying to calm me down to go to open my gateway, because
Mhm.
that was the thing that they like. I had to go open my gateway. That everybody like he was saying that everybody had a gateway, but not everybody had the chance to open it, and blah blah blah. Like just talking me into like. So I went and that he would be there guiding me back. Cause like the big thing that was scary there was like to go through that portal and not come back. Cause like, you know, like nobody to guide you. So I did what I have to do. And like when I came back, nobody was there to guide me. So like, that's where I lost trust. That's like, that, you know, like, cause I could have died there. Like, so I was that's when the monsters have happened there, like at the base, like there's another portal that a portal of light that opened on the wall that not related to the purple portal, not related to the thing that was like making the hologram. It was really on the wall of breaker in front of the chair, and uh, a light that's starting to getting bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and like one monster at a time came, like and like the light was closing back, and like after another one was the light was reopening, another monster was coming out. There's six monsters that came out,
What did
and
they
like
say?
they destroyed the base, they killed staff,
Oh, so this is physical. Sorry, it wasn't your part of your hallucination on LSD. This
no,
was
that's physical. The
actually.
base is closed since. That's
Okay.
why like Stranger Thing is inspired of the monsters and
Right.
all. That's my story that happened to me there.
Wow. All right, let's go back a step to the name you said, Preston Nichols.
Yeah.
Interesting today when I was watching Brad Olson talking about he was outside the Montauk building. Oh, and there was a woman there called Carrie Cassidy, and there was I forget Laura Eisenhower, Mike Barra. I don't know the others, but they mentioned this Preston Nichols guy and said that he was, gay and enjoyed little boys and
Mhm.
would take them to the point of ejaculation to convince them that that is to help them opening a portal. There's a lot of thought around this, not just from dirty pedophiles, but also in different ancient Hindu thinkings, let's say, and the point of orgasm is the point of, that's when you're closest to God. Some people believe that. The gateway also is known as the child, the little boy's anus, as being another gateway, which we've obviously heard about. So, again, you go as far and as safely as you choose to around this Preston Nichols person and what you'd like to share.
Yeah, well, honestly, like I'm not there to the guy is dead and all. I can say whatever, but I'll be genuine honest. The guy saved me from there. I never had sexual abuse from him. In my case, sorry,
Good.
and even that when I started seeing back my dad, probably a year after Montauk happened, we're at the flea market, we're shopping around, and who comes in? Preston Nichols, and he starts running after me and my dad, and Duncan, Duncan, Duncan. So my dad is all weird out because Duncan. So and he asked me like, "Do you recognize me?" And I was looking at him and because he was a tall guy, and yeah, I recognize the guy and all, but with the eraser and all, he starts explaining how bad the project was to my dad and how special I was. Uh, Invited us to a psychotronic event. I don't know what it is, but he was doing this, and it was 5 hours away from where we were, because we were in Chamonix Laval. So uh, yeah, for a guy to that's in the CIA to come and talk to a parent that's of a kid that's involved in the project and explain how bad this was and how special I was and all, the guy ain't just bad. So I don't know, I didn't see him abuse kids or whatever. In my case, I'm just genuine.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. I really do. And it's beautiful to actually have someone say, this is my actual experience, where others were alluding to. And maybe he did do those things. I
Yeah.
don't know. I wasn't there myself. So thank you for sharing that. You mentioned before we get back to the monsters, I'm sure people are really keen to hear about the what happened there. Of course, we'll cover that. But first of all, you doing okay?
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
okay. Thank you. So you mentioned the eraser, the Mind Swiper, as it's also known, and many other names. How did they do that? What was the process of making you forget?
Okay. Usually it was with hypnose, but the last time they used a machine that had two sticks. Okay, it's on a desk. The machine is on a desk. It's a little machine, probably 2 feet high. There's a place that you can put your chin in it and a pad for your forehead. Okay, and there's two sticks, gray sticks with a ball at the end that comes on your temple. Okay, and this is really the cooks your brain, and that's what they did last time. And at some point, one of the doctor to the handler stopped because he won't even remember how to breathe. So that's how bad, how strong this machine is. And it's in a hospital, like a regular hospital. Like they use this probably for big traumas, and probably every hospital has one. So yeah,
God,
and there's a wheel on that thing at the base, for the power and all, and
yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
that
wow.
really from there, after they did this, they implant frame of thought. Okay, you're forced to be thinking that thing. If you slightly go out or you feel tired, if you start digging into MK Ultra or like your past, you feel tired. Like they program those hypnotic suggestions and blockage. So plus like the machine that they cook your brain with. So
It's
that's
it's awful to hear your testimony, but it's also so, so important because so many people
yeah,
are watching this because we're literally taking time to break everything down piece by piece by piece, which is what we
yeah.
must do. We must keep stopping and sharing and making sure people are getting it because we're here to help them unplug and deprogram themselves. And so when you say that many people, well, I just got goosebumps from my angels then, when you say that children will start to think and push in a memory and then they'll start to become unconsciously tired, exhausted, fatigued. If they can recognize that, pull back from that, recognize
Yeah.
why do you think you're doing that? Is there, but then we have to be very careful too, because people can get triggered into psychosis. I mean, not you and I doing this, I'm just saying in
Yeah.
general. But there are some people addicted to a drama program, a victim program, a martyr program. There are people that should be on medication that aren't, or are on medication that shouldn't be. And it's very difficult because everyone's gone through something. All of us have gone through some kind of violent, abusive, tragic situation, whether physically or knowing someone that has. So none of us escape it. And we're all as important as each other. And it's all of our traumas deserve the chance to be healed and find ways to heal them. Let's have a look gosh, because there's so many different details we could go further into, but why don't we? This is our first lovely time together. I don't want to exhaust you or over ask too many things. May we go back to the situation with the giant portal that would open in the wall, as you said, and you said beings. Can you just explain slowly what happened? How did it happen? When did it happen? What did the monsters look like? And what did they do, if possible?
Uh, those monsters, I don't know if it was because I was still hooked up to the chair or it's uh, I, I did this or like the chair did this. I don't know. But I had the reflex on that chair to think about, because when I woke up and I was by myself, I had the reflex of thinking of my comfort home, my white blanket, and I had like a album, glow in the dark stickers, okay, like a album that I was using. I was putting at the sun all day while I was going to school, and like it was charging super strong. And like at night, I had this for light. I was doing it down with my hospital blanket. It was a white blanket, and I was opening this, and it was glowing everywhere. And that was my little safe space. And uh, I thought about this on the chair because like I was cold and all, and uh, they the monsters from my album just came out. It was a kit of sticker from uh, there were the Wolf Man, uh, Frankenstein, the Swamp Man, the Mummy, uh, the Bride of Frankenstein. There were six in total. And yeah, Dracula. So yeah, that's what came out. And the first one was the werewolf. Uh, That's pretty much the only one that was loud and fast, kind of like it was going. It was growling and just running everywhere, kind of thing. And they it was just uh, the phosphor color, a glow in the dark. It was my sticker, but like boosted, human size, and they were killing some of the staff. They killed some of the staff. They destroyed a part of the base. They shut down the base. When this happened, like the last monster actually stood by my foot till Preston came, and because I was left by myself in that room, and Preston came, and like she was standing next to me like the Bride of Frankenstein, and just like communicating with me telepathically, reassuring me. And Preston showed up, and she just moved to make him space. He unplugged my catatai and all the plugs from me, and he grabbed me and they got me out of the building. There were two military trucks with two rows of seats in the back, there were tarps. And we all got in those trucks. They gave us a gray blanket. We were all in underwear. So we were all put in those trucks, and somebody went and got some military jogging suits. Some were gray and green, some were gray and blue, and they started distributing the jogging suits. And a school bus came with a blacked out window. He passed in front of the trucks and came on the other side, and they made us transfer from the bus from the military truck to the bus. And once I was crossing, my carpenter arrived with a cop car. So Preston Nichols got me out of the and brought me to my carpenter and told him get him out of here because they'll use him as a guinea pig. So I was the only kid that left not in the bus. All the rest left in the bus. We followed the bus for a while, and after it took its own direction, I went to a motel to change and wash because I was full of blood, all bruised up. And after he brought me to my mom, my mom was freaking out because usually we had a week of healing, we're beat up and all, and after they were putting us in the acid house, we were being programmed in the acid house and healing there too. And when we were going back home, we didn't have that kind of bruise. But I was just freshly kicked by a military guy and all. The big shiner, and I was beat up. So uh,
So
yeah,
that is just absolutely incredible, and I heard similar tales from different people, but I feel like I'm sitting in front of the original, creator of that experience, meaning
yeah, yeah,
your imagination, the way that the technology worked, holographically, physically, creating matter, creating, generating from your mind and projecting,
yeah,
and through the Stargate or the portal or the gateway
yeah,
came through the monsters off your book at your house in your mind.
yeah,
And they literally took on a physical form and they
yeah.
literally came and killed physical human beings in that place. That's what you're telling us.
Yeah, they saved us, the kids, because usually 1% of the kids was getting out alive of there. So we left a bus that day. So
You left a what?
there were a bus of kids that left that
Bus
day.
of kids. So, so were did the monsters have any compassion? Were the monsters killing the terrible people who
Yeah,
were being the Right.
yeah, they
Okay,
were
let's make
nice with
this point. Let's make this point because this
yeah,
is just amazing. So what you're saying is the monsters that you brought to life, that
yeah.
you brought through the portal, were running and harming the adults that had been hurting and harming the children. Did the monsters unlock the cages and free the children? What happened?
No, they were just walking around and everybody, the alarm was ringing full blast. Um, like there's one the Frankenstein, the big guy was super slow, but he went probably 30 feet from me in the elevator and started ramming the elevator. So there's probably still damage in the elevator that you can see from what happened there because it's the basement of the radar tower. So yeah, and uh,
Did they break the chairs? Either of, I mean, you were in one of them on
No,
Talk.
I was sitting in it, and like the Bride of Frankenstein was just there waiting till Preston got me out. But I don't know what she did after or whatever. Like they all took a different path. There. So yeah, the place was just in panic from like from that moment. Like
Yeah,
like the alarm, and
yeah.
the place was dark. So like you had trouble looking at them. Like they were so bright, like everything was lighting up in the place. But even to look at them, like they were like pure energy.
Mm.
Well,
Do you think there's an element, if this little boy that you were, that it also imprinted his own consciousness in them to protect the children? So the monsters weren't scary, they were nice, they were loving because they were your comfort. Do you think there's an
yeah,
element of that? You know,
yeah. I think somehow there's a touch of me in this. So for sure, yeah, because the way they were behaving, and so yeah,
I know it's an awful thing for a child to witness any of this, especially being hurt and touched and watching other children be
yeah.
messed with and unalived. That I wonder if at that moment, as a little boy, you're seeing the monsters that you're creating coming through and hurting the adult monsters. Was there a form of retribution? Was there a form of this is justice? Was there any feeling that you can remember?
No, I was kind of wiping out between the monsters, like because I was so drunk and all, and like they were so bright that like you were waking up on that chair, but like soon as it was going, like I was fading down, and they whoa another light coming out, like so like that's like the memories I have of it, like like because I was kind of fading down or like too drugged or so. Yeah, that's the memory. I think the worst thing at Montauk, like they were waterboarding us, and like till we were dying, they were like reanimating us, and like, are you okay? Okay, yeah. And they were putting back us in the like just to uh, I don't know, to push us to our
Penalize the
limit.
blood or Jesus Christ. When they were waterboarding, were there was there technology around recording or analyzing the adrenal
No,
spikes? No, it was just straightforward torture, was it?
yeah, and like sometimes like I remember once we were like four kids, and we had to look at the wall while he was another one was waterboarding the kid, and he had like a cattle prod, and it was just scaring us with this, so we couldn't look, and like fuck till each we went there, so um yeah, that's
Unreal.
and
Unreal.
um. The thing that was like really scary, and I'm not from like a kid from a farm, okay? Like they brought a pig, okay? I don't know how they got him inside the tunnels and all. Like I have no clue. But they brought him in the middle of the cage area, like the cage, and like they started butchering it, but like super slow so that it would squeal like but the sound of a pig that squeals, that's being gutted, like in a tunnel, the echoing sound of that is nuts. Like, yeah,
That's something
that's,
I'm never gonna forget.
oh no, 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 no. And like, and also like the, the cage area, what was really like, you were getting in there, like the smell of blood, like you tasted the
Yeah.
metallic in your
Metallic.
mouth, like,
No, yeah.
um, you also like the stagnant water smell because like there was 10 years of kids being like thrown in those cage like beat up bleeding and like waterboard and like the water was staying there and like so like it was a gross place. The only thing cleaning this was the new kid like refreshing the floor like a bit with the water on it. So yeah, like that place was there's Yeah, it's hard. And like the sound of those guys, those militaries laughing, coming, because those guys were on acid, and they had a blast doing this, like they loved it.
Yeah.
So, when you hear them, like, because you heard them far, like, yeah, fuck, like you were making yourself small in the fucking cage and just hoping they weren't coming for you, like, like.
Yeah.
And after a few days of that, like sleeping in there and being wake up with kicks and like, "Yeah, okay, oh yeah," and like, bruh, okay, your turn to the waterboarding, and like, no, no, I don't want to go there anymore, like, yeah, yeah, like, when you're a kid, like, you're not tough, like, like,
Of course, you're a baby,
so,
you're a little kid, you know.
hey, 8 years old, I see kids of 8 years old, and like,
Yeah.
I'm just raging when I like, when I think of this, like they did this to me, and I got that size, those fuckers. So, yeah,
But here you are now, a fully grown man, and a father, and
yeah,
just sharing, bravely sharing, and look at the detail you're giving us. And again, you speak French and English, or Canadian French and English.
yeah,
You know how the Parisians get upset when we say, "Are you speaking French?" No, I'm speaking pure French, and not Canadian French. I know it's a bit silly, isn't it? Because I lived in
yeah,
Canada, a bilingual country. I certainly came to witness, but also I witnessed in Canada when I lived there how they would make fun of the Ukrainians, always making fun of the create, but eating their pogies, eating their great food, and yet, the same as in England, it always used to be making fun of the Irish. It was just each country seems to have its person. God knows what they say about the Brits or the English. But again, things we don't want to get triggered by because that's just silly. And it's so over exaggerated today. People worry so much about the smallest, unimportant things. And then here we are sitting with you talking about the absolute horrors that definitely still do go on today. The things that you're describing, I'm not saying other than the chair, for example, but pretty much are what our beautiful Jewish brothers and sisters suffered at the hands of the Nazis, Mengele, and our friend Juliet, Dr. Juliet Engel, that I've interviewed, as I said several times. I'm still reading her book, Sparky Surviving Sex Magic. That was one of the programs that she was put into, the Sex Magic program. Like you, she was also taken away for weeks or a week at a time into what was called an annex as part of her MK Ultra programming. She was from a high satanic bloodline family. Her uncles had been involved in the Nuremberg trials, bringing the Project Paperclip scientist over. That's how
yeah,
senior she was. Again, a marked child with an upside down satanic cross, so they could do anything they wanted to her except for completely unalive her. And she talks about every annex that she went to for training and torture, there were certain staff members. There were the Dr. Greens, which was Mengele's
yeah,
original nickname, Dr. Greens, Nanny Blacks that were apparently always men, Dr. Whites, and just monsters. But they seem to have that uniform structure
yeah.
across the board. Is that your experience also?
Yeah, I had Dr. Green too, like, but in our case, it was Reinhard Heinrich, like, he was the chief of Nazi intelligence. Um, yeah, like the Butcher Prague, he faked his death in 1942 or 43 because he had an attempt on him, and I think he's the one, the precursor of the paperclip agreements and all, because he was in charge of the Nazi, like he cleaned like a bunch of the corrupted Nazi. He's the one that like started those gas chambers and stuff like that. Like he was like the biggest killer in World War II, I think. Like
Say his name
Reinhard
again, please. Say his full.
Reinhard Endrich, and the Butcher of Prague. That was his name, his nickname. And yeah, like they made a movie on him, like his death and all. No, the guy was still alive in 86, 87 when because we all met him. Because when we finished our certification, that we had our like CIA blue and gray card kind of thing, and the insurance like up to with 10 clause like, up to 300 grand if we were dying, and like pension papers and stuff like that. The next day, we all had to go and see Dr. Green, and like we were calling him Dr. Green because like Heydrich Reinhardt in French is hard to say. So I like today I realized that it's probably a code name because like a lot of the survivors are dealing with other doctors like Dr. Green. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's a pattern to it. Like even through generation, they keep those.
Yeah, because it works, because it works.
Yeah,
It keeps it
yeah,
succinct, operational, and very militarized and organized. That's incredible. Gosh, well, listen, there's so many other things I would love to share with you, but I really feel like this is a good place to stop at this point. I'm so grateful to you. Again, it's just the worst subjects. Literally, these are the worst subjects on the planet. How could they not be? That the hurt and the harm of our beautiful children. And I would thank goodness you survived with your physical body. And I know we mentioned before we started recording that healing is an ongoing process, but you feel. Um, may we invite you back again?
yeah, sure,
Share
sure.
more. May we invite the audience, the beautiful, so clever, so intelligent, and a lot of people that watch my channel themselves are healing up a lot of trauma and pain from their past. So, what you're giving them is so much insight. May we, when we come back next time, uh, talk about ways that you've managed to find healing and processes that you've gone through.
Yeah,
May we
yeah,
also
sure.
go more into the astral projection and what you saw on the other side of the purple liquefied, you
Yeah,
know, and how you did that, dangers of it, and how to stay safe and things like that. And may we invite the audience to ask their own questions in the comments
yeah, sure. Yeah, I
section.
have no problem with that. Like, yeah, and like, if they know parents or people that have young kids in school, like, please look into my story because like this is still going on, and I'm trying to like wake up parents so that they don't get like caught like trusting people in nice suits that like have no care for them and like that because like they destroyed my family. They like it's a you have the nice uh story now, like the nice part, but like my story's bad. Like so like to avoid this to other kids, because not a kid deserves this, not a parent deserves this either, to be like in that kind of situation when you hand your kid to the CIA and like yeah, like light trauma.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see what's light trauma. And so yeah, like just so that they can go and check in the schools where the kids are, or like visit surprise, like there's a pattern to it. So like look into your kids, like check them because like the government are. So like that's my goal. Like
Yeah, and a very
I didn't get anything from this. Oh yeah, I got a pension, but like like I lost 15 million that they took like my shop
yeah,
plus like my life and all, and yes. So like you think and like the funny thing also is that all this happened to me like 4 years before Stranger Things start. So like
mm.
it's
Very
worth 20
timely.
billions.
Yeah,
Stranger Things is worth 20 billion, and it's all based out of my story, and I'm not doing nothing. So I think it's probably like a black ops, like to generate that kind of money, and like that I was taking out like 4 years before the series come out. Yeah,
shocking. There's a lot of trigger TV shows and trigger films. I do a lot of work shining the light on every abused child from whatever generation. Resident children in Canada that were taken and slaughtered in the residential homes. More recently, burial grounds in Ireland for the former mother and baby homes in Toome and Sean Ross, where I've spoken to siblings of children who went missing in those homes. They were trafficked, they were ritually satanically erased. The church has been, a culprit in this massively. And in Toome in Ireland, Tuam, they found over 800 skeletons in a sewer that had been gathered from this mother and baby home where they'd obviously slaughtered the children, obviously, and things, had gone horribly wrong. And at the other place that I filmed just the other day on my YouTube channel, my friend Maureen, who's also a survivor as a little girl, who was abused by an uncle, then put in a convent. Because anyway, that bless her, that lady, she was holding her phone and filming the graveyard area where they just roughly buried over 1,900 children's bodies were found. That is a Holocaust. And they found
Yeah.
Yes, they found 23 young female skeletons there. And these stories will come to the surface, and the monsters will be named. And every child
Mhm.
that was suffered or hurt, their soul will be remembered, because all the demons trying to take the souls, because it's a multi-dimensional war. We're fighting on every level. And part of my role is to bring people like you on, talk about the babies in Ireland. And I told the lady 2 or 3 years ago, I promise you, while I'm on this planet, me and others are going to keep talking about this. And those children, their skeletons are going to be brought to the surface. And it's happening right now. They're literally bringing those babies up to
Yes.
so it's so horrific it's happened, but it's so beautiful. People like you, people like Maureen and others,
Mhm.
Kathy O'Brien and Max Lowen, who revealed everything in the Vatican, and you're all finding each other. I'm finding you all. We're all coming together, and we're doing everything to highlight, and I congratulate you and I honor you for how brave you are and that you're helping so many people.
Thank you. And likewise, because you're helping a lot of people with your platform and like the time you're doing those shows and all, and it's really appreciated. I don't know if people are telling you, but I'm telling you. So
Oh, well,
thank
thank
you for that.
you. Yeah, no, it's my passion, my life. I have a conference too where I put, bring the best, I think the best people in disclosure for different subjects, because all the subjects are important. There's nothing that isn't important.
Yeah.
This is our awakening. This is our, ascension. And
Mhm.
the earth, she's rising. We're all getting affected by the energies. And I've never seen so much suicidation, so many people being possessed by demonics, because again there's a lot of demonics that were hosting bodies of people like Aquino and those filth monsters. Now they're dead and off the planet, a lot of them. These horrific, generals and dukes, demonics, I've seen them, they're real. These
Mhm.
principalities, they're looking for other host bodies, so people are off their face on drugs, on alcohol, that they are vulnerable. So we want to bring
Yeah.
that attention to take care of the body, mind, and soul. So, well, between now and next time, again, thank you so much, Chris. Is there a website we can find you? Is there a book? Like, what can you tell
Yeah.
people?
Terror at Montauk.com. That's the website. My book is available there. Like it's the only place pretty much because like I had it on Amazon and not even 24 hours after I was banned for life from Amazon because of my book.
Wow.
So yeah, like they didn't want it out. But now yeah, it's available in ebook for format on my website, and there's a lot of information on MK Ultra also the goal is to give factual information to people so that I'm selective a bit in the what I put on the website, but yeah, like it's accurate information and that people should be aware of, and not just my story, other people's story, and uh, trying to expose MK Ultra and avoid this to other kids and avoid this to families to be broken by the CIA.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you again so much. Before we go, obviously we've mentioned names Max Lowen and Kathy O'Brien and Chris
Yeah.
Lottery and Dr. Julia Engel. Is there anybody else that you know has a testimony that is true that we could also invite people to go and view?
Uh, I got a bunch for like because I know a bunch of people, I was not recruited by myself. I got a bunch of friends that are still alive, and but they just want to see me stay alive for a while before they come out. Because I closed like 5 or 6 places with my book, that they were using to mess up with the with kids, place that they were using to do this. Like they can't use those places anymore. Like there's not many people that did this to the CIA, but like there's not many people that got what I got done by the CIA either. And yeah,
Okay. All right. Brilliant. Well, thank you so much again, Chris. We really appreciate you being here. Thank you.
thank you. Thanks.
And to the lovely audience, again, I hope that you've kept your headphones on or not let your children be around this absolute true life horror story and testimony. I'm sure, like me, you're grateful to Chris Laterreur for coming on and sharing his harrowing story. And as you've heard, we're welcoming you to ask your questions. What was through the astral projection portal, other questions that you may wish to ask having been piqued especially in ways to heal your own traumas that Chris has clearly taken time to go through himself. So, as always, my name is Danny Henderson. I send so much love to all of you from my heart to yours, and I'll see you soon. Thank you, Chris.